Well, I'd like to invite Jennifer Love to come up. And as we look at this passage where Jesus does some rather remarkable healings, I'd like to start by talking about a more recent healing that he has done. And so, Jennifer, would you tell us about the physical challenges your son Gabe was facing for the past couple years?
Sure. We're coming up on his 2-year anniversary of getting sick. October 2021, he started having these stomach aches that nobody could explain. We were taking him to the doctor and he was fine. That's what they told us. He was anxious, he was nervous, he was making it up. That's what a lot of the minor emergent doctors would say to us. Luckily, we have an incredible pediatrician who, when I finally got him in to see her, she said, "What do you think is wrong with him? Do you think it's just anxiety? Do you think it's just him making it up?" And I said, "I don't know, but I know my kid. He's not a liar, he's not a faker, and he's not very dramatic. So I think there's something really wrong." And so she put into motion all of these tests. Let me go back a little bit. So he was having these stomach aches and he was not sleeping at night because the pain was bad. He was getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom 4, 5, 6, 8 times. At the time he was 8. He hadn't turned 9 yet. So our doctor ordered this litany of tests and I sat in an office with my tiny 40-pound 8-year-old having pint after pint after pint of blood taken and test after test after test done. And the initial blood work showed that he had some abnormalities, but nothing was crazy. We were waiting on 2 tests to come back. And one of them was an inflammation markers test. And if anybody's had a test done for inflammation markers, 58 is high normal. Gabe's were 4,000. And then top that off, he was very small for his age. He had weighed 40 pounds for 3 years in a row at a doctor's appointment. He hadn't gained an ounce. He'd only grown about a half or 1 inch in that time. And then pretty much as soon as he got the diagnosis, things really ramped up. He got more sick, he lost weight, he couldn't eat. And luckily, we got the diagnosis and all of that comes with that very quickly. I think he went to, our pediatrician's name is Holly, went to Holly on a Monday. We found out he had Crohn's on the following Monday, 7 days.
Crohn's?
Crohn's, he has Crohn's disease, yes.
Which is?
Crohn's is an inflammatory bowel disease. In Gabe's case, it affects his small intestine, which is the place where you absorb all your nutrients and water and where a great deal of your immune system operates from. So he was severely malnourished, he was chronically dehydrated.
And he had some intolerances, so what food intolerances?
So he couldn't eat anything tomatoes, he couldn't eat raw tomatoes, he couldn't eat spaghetti sauce, he couldn't eat pizza. We found that dairy was difficult for him. Large amounts of gluten or wheat in general was hard for him to digest and would make him not just ill that he was throwing up or going to the bathroom so many times, but in so much pain that we would take him to the hospital because I was sure he had appendicitis or something like that.
So a number of months back, when we were actually going through Matthew 8, we spent 4 weeks talking just about healing. And during that time, there was some prayer for your son. So why don't you talk both about, I think there's a couple different prayer times, and then what's happened since.
Okay. Well, it kind of started with Holly Dennison, who was a warrior for my boy, was determined to pray for his healing. And so in our connection group, you guys prayed over me for Gabe and prayed for peace for us. And then Holly drugged me down the aisle to pray with Roger, with Gabe.
Roger's one of our elders.
Roger Widmer,
Roger,
yes. To pray with him.
Yep, there's Roger over there, and so they actually laid hands on him.
And our connection group continued to pray for him. I know Holly was praying for him. Me and my husband began praying for his healing.
And then tell about the party where he ate the death food.
So we went to a pizza place, and He had ordered a gluten-free pizza with white sauce and dairy-free cheese. It was very busy. They messed up his order 100%. It was regular crust, had regular cheese, and it was a red sauce pizza. And he apparently was so hungry, he ate all of it and didn't realize that it was not the right thing to eat until he was getting to the last bite, and he goes, "Mom, this has red sauce on it." And we were in the Garland district, so like not near home, which I don't know about anybody else, but I prefer to go to the bathroom at home. And so does Gabe. So I was like, let's go home right now. And we did. We went home. And about an hour later, he was playing a video game. And I was like, "How you feel, bud?" And he goes, "I feel fine." Okay. And then the day goes on. He continues to feel fine. I'm worried that he's going to have some nighttime stomach pain. We all sleep through the night. Nobody wakes me up. He gets up in the morning. He looks well rested. I said, "How'd you sleep, bud?" He's like, "I slept great." I said, "Did you have to get up to go to the bathroom?" He's like, "I didn't." And then when you have Crohn's or any IBD, this is a common question. I said, "What did your poop look like this morning?" He said, "You know what, Mom? It looked normal," which is weird anyways. And so I was like, okay, is this a fluke or is this God healing him? And a few weeks, maybe later that week, I decided to make spaghetti, which is everybody in my house's favorite food. Gabe has not eaten it in 2.5 years. And he wasn't going to have the red sauce. And I was like, why don't you just put a little on the side and dip your noodles in it and see how you feel? And he ate this spaghetti like it was his last meal. He ate so much spaghetti. And so again, I was like watching him to see, is he gonna get sick? Is he gonna feel bad? Is he gonna be in pain? And he was fine.
And then he started eating in weight, and so why don't you comment on that? What's he eating now?
So in the beginning of January, he weighed 60 pounds, which we thought was like amazing, because that was 20 pounds heavier than where he started. He was just at the doctor last week, and he weighs 67 pounds, which is like just shy of being normal for a kid his age. He's about to turn 11 in December. He grew, I don't know what the total inches is now, but the last time we had measured him, he had grown 7 inches. And I know he's grown more because I bought him new clothes then, and he's outgrown all of them, so.
And he's been eating desserts.
He eats whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants.
He used to eat, I used to say he eats like a bird. He would eat little tiny meals, and I don't know that he was ever full, but he was so afraid to eat. And this kid, so we had spaghetti and meatballs last night. This kid ate 4 meatballs. He ate an entire plate of noodles full of sauce, and then he had a donut and a cookie for dessert. So
and
he's eating like normal.
His energy.
Yeah.
Because she had mentioned, she told me like they would have to take a nap to get him through the day.
Yes, so our kids are homeschooled now, but before that we were in public school, and Gabe really wanted to play baseball. So he would go to school during the day, come home and nap until it was time to go to baseball practice, because he could not make it through baseball practice. And not just like tired and lagging, but like falling asleep on the bench, exhausted. This boy wakes up at 5:30 in the morning and is good until 10 o'clock at night, which is new for all of us. He's doing his schoolwork without getting tired out. He's participating in normal play and sports. And all 3 of my kids' new thing has been when my husband gets home to ask to work out. So they're playing all day long. Drew gets home at 5:30 and they go work out.
Let's give it up for Jesus.